Yeah, last 2 weekends in conference play here, from our last trip with Denver and Oral Roberts on the road, some things were really, and it has been now for a bit here, we're really working on trying to defensively get some traction. I think we definitely are a team that has a little bit more of an offensive mindset. And so that's definitely been a thing we're pushing for, is just having a little more pride and accountability on individually each guy doing their job defensively, and then collectively as a team really being connected and engaged. So after that Omaha and St. Thomas weekend, where I just felt like it was way too easy for teams and poor starts in both, I felt like getting on the road to Denver and to Oral Roberts was continuing that push of defense, but then also what kind of start are we getting off to? I thought both games we got off to a pretty good start. The Denver game, I thought we, from a defensive standpoint, had really good energy, did our job, did a lot better job of taking away, we call them scout stops, when you can take away what your opponent does well. And a lot of it is individual based. Is he a great shooter? Is he great at attacking the rim? Or is he strong inside? What shoulder does he go to in the post? Different stuff like that. And when you do your job and you take those things away, we call those scout stops. And I thought Denver, we got a lot of scout stops. We did a pretty good job being connected and engaged from a help standpoint, and just in gaps and good activity. And then that fed into our offense better. When you go to the next game with Oral Roberts, a team that's making 10 threes a game, we wanted to eliminate some of those threes. They only had 4, but a couple of them were huge. But the problem with the Oral Roberts game is they shot 70% from 2. And when a team shoots 70% from 2, that means you're not winning enough one-on-ones. Like, you have to win some one-on-one battles. A team like that has different guys that can really shoot it, if you get caught over helping, now you're giving up open threes. And we just didn't win enough one-on-ones. And it's hard offensively when you continually take the ball out of the net. And we led 27 minutes in that game. And we were headed to a one-possession game late. Chose not to foul because with 22 seconds left, what have you, we were going to have about 7 or 8 seconds on our clock if we get that stop to score, instead of putting guys at a free throw line that are pretty dang good free throw shooters. To make it a 2-possession game with that little time, we just felt like, let's get a stop. And then McBride hits a tough shot, a tough 3, pretty well contested 3, to make it a 2-possession game. And at that point, obviously, that gamble probably didn't work, but I still think in my gut that was the right move for us to do. But we're scoring 80, almost 85 points a game in league play. We have the best assist to turnover ratio, I think, in the league right now in league play. We're not rebounded to the rate that we need to, but when you don't have many defensive rebound opportunities in Oral Roberts, it's hard to get defensive rebounds. We're taking the ball out of the net, but we're doing things at times really, really well. But defensively, we've got to get traction here. Like I could tell our guys, it's good to know this is our deal. This is what we have to. We got to take more pride in, from possession to possession, making it really important, and then closing plays with rebounds. And as we do that, I think that continues to help our offense. But we can't just focus on offense, and if it's not going well, let that impact our defense. And that's kind of who we can become. And so there we go. That's our cross. That's what we're trying to turn right there. That's what we see it clearly in the mirror, and we've got to get tougher that way. So I'll take questions.
Coach, I know we're talking defense, but I'll change gears a little bit. Trayson hasn't been able to, catch fire like he did against Alabama, post-Alabama. Is some of that reflection of, better recognition from conference opponents on personnel, or, does pressure come with the performance at Alabama, or what do you attribute to just not hitting the threes as well?
I think all the above. I think the pressure that kind of came from the Alabama game. To be quite honest, when you watch the Alabama game, it's clear that there was not a lot of preparation from an individual basis for our team. I think, their emphasis was probably really more of a default type defense. This is who we are. This is how we play. We got to pressure. This is our ball screen defense. He got to his right hand a lot. Like, there's different things that they allowed him to do that a lot of teams don't allow him to do. And then, I also think you connect that with the fact that, Trey just played awesome in that game. We had great energy as a team in that game. The things were on both ends of the floor, but we still gave up 62 points in the second half to them. And I guess the easy answer, well, they're Alabama. Well, there's still an opportunity there. But teams are obviously really, really going after him. And what I thought the Oral Roberts game, he made a lot of awesome plays out of doubles, out of blitzes, out of different coverages where he got other guys really good looks. He had 5 assists to just 1 turnover. There was passes he made out of coverages that allowed the next pass, where we're going from a 5v5 to 2 guys on him, passing out of that to now a 4-on-3 situation where now that next guy has to make the right play. And sometimes we did, and sometimes we didn't. So I think there's definitely some, but there's some of that where he's just kind of going through it. But I tell him, the impact he made in that Denver game, I think he was a plus 27 on the plus minus in that game. And he didn't score a lot, but he had an impact of plus 27 because what teams were doing to try to take him away gave other guys opportunities where they scored. And even in the Oral Roberts game, there was some of that. So it's just, hey, keep locking in on the things that truly matter. Like just keep working hard, keep playing hard, keep trying to make that right play. Let the ball find you. Let your instincts kind of take over that way a little bit, and instead of kind of holding on to that club so tight that you're pounding that ball, 100 miles or 100 yards into the rough, right? As a golfer, when you're grabbing it too tight, it can be difficult. And so free yourself up a little bit. Allow yourself to make mistakes, but free yourself up, make the right play, and the ball is going to continue to find you. So I'm not worried about Trey at all when it comes to that. He's too good an all-around player, and I think that part of it's going to come for him.
What's the outlook on Brian Matthews? Could he help you defensively if you're able to get him back?
For sure. I mean, he's big, physical, and he was playing at a very good level when he got hurt. So our hope is that he's back. Our hope is that he's back sooner than later. He's really putting the work in. So we want to get him back on the floor as soon as we possibly can.
Just talk about how Zach has really evolved over the last few weeks and just from his position of being a walk-on.
Yeah, awesome, right? Confidence, but, on both sides of the floor, his feel's pretty good. And he's doing a nice job just really playing hard, and he's learning defensively as the growth from him defensively is huge. But, what he gives us on offense, he's just doing an awesome job of doing what he does well and sticking within that. He's not trying to do too much. He is always shot ready, right? He always cuts with a violent cut. He cuts, he doesn't just cut hard, he cuts violently. He just plays really, really hard. And so that's really helped. And because we're in need of that, and it's really helped us. But the confidence that he brings, and he's just an everyday guy. He's an everyday guy with what he brings. So it's been awesome to see him play the way he is and help our team the way he's helping.